this episode of Carz Plus, we're going to be showing my 2007 Pontiac Solstice, which I've decided to sell after being my daily driver for quite a number of years. We're also going to be showing you all kinds of features in that car, what its current condition is, faults, pluses, and you're even going to learn what asymmetric tires can do for the handling on a Pontiac Solstice. Stay tuned. We're going to give you an overview of the car here. Going down the driver's side. That's the upper portion. Come down a little bit and back. I'm going to show you the lower portion. And I'll back up a little bit more. Let you see the driver's side of the car in its entirety. I'll do the front of the car, come up on it. As I come down here, you see the condition of it. Headlights aren't too bad considering their age. And as we come real close, we're going to see, we have a clear bra, but you see the clear bra has protected the paint, but a little bit of scratching has happened in the clear bra. There's a clear bra all the way across the front of this car. Comes up to this point on the hood right here, which is about a third of the way up on the hood. So the whole front of the car has a clear bra on it. Here we have the back end of the car, showing how nice it looks. Has the accessory luggage rack you could get, kind of a rare thing to find. It's on the car. And here we have the passenger side. Negative is, I'm going to see if I can get it all in one shot. Ooh, there I did. Just about ran into a building doing it, but I did it. So you can see what this side of the car is like. It's in beautiful shape. Not perfect, but given its age, in beautiful shape. Now the paint, you should know on this car, almost everything has been repainted at some point. But I'm going to show you two things that could stand paint now. There's a video on the channel that shows you how to do it. And it's not much of a project to do it. So let's go look at one of those things. Right here, the top of this mirror, this needs to be redone. That's original paint from the day the car was built. So that needs to be redone. Likewise, the driver's side mirror got damaged after we did it in a little hailstorm. And so we just quick sprayed over it because we were leaving town. And the driver's side one should be redone just like we did in the video, and it would be perfect again also. Looking at the hood, it is extremely hard to see. There's a couple of hail dents in this hood, but they're so small that you got to get yourself at exactly the right angle to see them. There is one right here. You probably have a hard time even seeing it in the video. There's one over here I can find. But again, it's probably really hard to see in the video. So we do live at 5,000 feet. We do get summer monsoon, and you can end up with minor imperfections like that. Local hail dent remover could make the hood absolutely perfect at just $500 and it'd be dead perfect, he said. And he does it all for Galpin Ford in town, so he's good. Looking at the top. This is the second top the car's had. And you'll see on the top down here that I'll sew on the top. And I'll even throw in the thread and the curved needles for doing it. It's a lot better than using duct tape. But there's a spot that should be sewed. And you'll see right along the back it should be sewed in this area. Now there are other areas that are not perfect, but I sew them as necessary. As I'm showing you, I just sew them as necessary to keep the top in good shape. I've made this top last about 8 years already, but it is at least the second top the car had. Right here I have the key fob. Now I'm going to press for opening the trunk. See, it works just fine. So you can open your trunk on this car. Original key fob, you can see this side is a little worn off on the key fob, but these pieces, that piece is available on eBay all the time for just a couple of dollars. All right, looking in the trunk, let's see general condition other than it could probably stand to be slightly vacuumed. Beautiful shape. And that's a special holder. I don't know as it came with the car. I did not have this car when it was new, but that is your windscreen, which we'll show you where that goes later on. But that's in the car, and that's where we keep it all the time. Features accessory chrome wheels with aftermarket dust shields, and those dust shields do a great job of keeping the dirt off of the wheel itself. It also has asymmetric tires on it. They're only about 2 years old, and there's a whole bunch of tread left on them. I'm going to get a penny and show you how well they've still got tread. Using our penny here, you can see Lincoln's head does not show at all. We got about the top of his head. We've got a good portion of his head buried in the tire tread. So there's plenty of tire tread on these tires. Special attention here. I'm going to start the car, and you're going to hear it starts up beautifully. We're going to take it for a little drive so you can hear it operate. See that the car is extremely usable, as is. I'm going to take it out on the freeway and show you what the asymmetric tires do for the handling, as well as we'll be going through all different gears, shifting the car. It is a 5-speed manual, and you'll find the clutch works very nicely. I dropped it a little hard there, but it works beautiful. Are they coming? This is the highway you hear in the background a lot of times, and one of the reasons I like to often in videos put music over things, because I can't get rid of all the highway noise some of the places I video. This, because we're doing the car, outdoors, etc., I don't consider that real important. As you can see, fairly busy highway. Still got another vehicle coming. Speeds. Let it fall down. It's only 45 in here.
out of Texas. It's been in Arizona ever since. There doesn't appear to be any rust basically on anything except for the end of the battery cable, which of course is because you have a passive battery. And that is the only place I can tell you that I won't rust. You can change out the battery cable in if you had to, but it's not really a problem. We're going to go through a little neighborhood here, and then I'm going to take it onto the freeway. Cruise control works. I just set the cruise. I don't have my foot on the gas pedal at all. Works perfectly. I've changed the gauge down here, which you can't see from that vantage point, so I can see the boost on the car. And I'll give you an explanation of why I do that shortly. Brakes work really good. Plenty of brakes on the car. They were done in the last couple of years also. So the brakes are relatively new. The tires are relatively new. Most of the car has been painted in the last 3 years. I'm showing you the clear bra on it to protect it, which at least we don't get damage to the paint, but you know it is a low car. You're going to get hit with a rock or something. That's why you want a clear bra. Leave me in third. It'd be quieter if I put it in fourth, but you can hear it run in third. That's what it'll sound like. You'll also notice I have the air conditioning running. It's just running on low, but I'll turn it all the way up. So the fan works, all positions. Every single thing works for positions over here. I can move it wherever I want. There it's going on the floor and up above. I can turn on the defroster for the rear window, the defroster for the dash area that would do the front window. Everything works perfectly. In a bit I'll even set it up so you can hear the stereo system works. We'll test the windows for you. Even the rear mirrors on each side, the power for those works. Also, there is literally nothing in here not functioning. So here we go. normal. You should be able to go to 14. So while it's fully capable of being a very good car and wonderful, it needs to have the timing chain set properly. I took it into the dealer. It came out of the dealer with codes. And they tried to tell me, oh, now it needs these parts. Well, what they were really trying to tell me is that we don't want to redo it for free, so you're going to pay us for these couple of parts, so we'll redo the whole thing that way. The two parts they wanted to change out were the variable valve timing units on the front of the engine that the timing chain rides on. Hence, to get to fix the timing chain, they blew for free. So as you can see, car totally works. But what it means by being off time that teeny bit is you cannot use full boost, and therefore you cannot develop 260 horsepower right now. Even though the car is still sprightly, it isn't a barn burner like it should be for what the car is supposed to be. And since I know how the car is supposed to behave, I can tell you that it's just not perfect. It's not. But there is nothing that prevents you from using this car. You cannot, in fact, damage the car right now, because if I overboost it, the computer will immediately detune it, limit the boost to 5 pounds PSI until you clear the codes, and then you can go back to using up to 10 pounds. It will not let you use the engine the way you would normally use it, because you would run into it, and the computer won't let that happen, because it's reading the sensors and it shuts the stuff down and prevents you from doing it. So the car can be used forever with that check engine light on, but if you want this car to act like what it should act like, then you can go to somebody that's reputable and put the timing chain in. And to tell you what I was going to do, I was going to take it and have it go out to my son, who's 37 years old, 20 years experience as a mechanic, has been a lead mechanic, and is also now the project manager for the V8 Speed Shop in Red Bud, Illinois. And I talked to him about it, and he said, based on everything, all we need to do is put that timing chain in there right, that engine should go to 250,000 miles. So the engine is not smoking, we'll show you that. The engine's running great. We've always done oil changes exactly according to the instructions, i.e. we use the exact oil. It's always a synthetic oil listed on the oil filler. We always use the appropriate real oil filter, and I even have a magnetic drain plug in it just in case, so we can see what's going on. It's been religiously changed on oil. I always do the oil changes myself. And in case anybody's wondering, the reason I don't like trying to do a timing chain in this at all is because I don't have the back for leaning over that low to do it. It is really hard on me, so I took it to a dealer thinking, well, they're going to know how to do this. They sure did. They blew it. They tried to charge me again for it. The other reason I wanted to take it to my son, which I'll be bluntly honest, is because he and other people there could have looked at it, and he could have seen it was off time, and then I had they could have videoed it, and I had the evidence to go to court and get the money back from the dealer. So I'm at least being polite enough by not naming the dealer's name, but I'll tell you something. They screwed it up, and if you're wondering why we're selling the car, it hasn't got anything to do with this. We're selling the car because we got a super deal on an amazing car. You'll see it on the channel in the future here. We couldn't even believe. And something has to go to have enough room, and this is the one that's going to go. Because I would think somebody else would love this little car and have some fun with it. And if you're a good wrencher, know somebody, put that timing chain in, which is about a year old and it hasn't been driven thousands of miles. Because it's been just a round town car since that happened. That's all we've done with it. And didn't need to take it anywhere. But if you got somebody who puts that thing in right, and you can use the stuff that's there because it's that new, you're in great shape, and you got a car that's going to go for another 70,000, 80,000 miles. Looks pretty damn good. And if you wanted to, re-engine it or fix it up even more, or just use it and have fun with it. It gives you an overview on the drive. As I said, when we get back here, I'm going to demonstrate the stereo system to you, because I can't do it with over the radio stuff because it'll be copyrighted, unfortunately. On the back of the car, if you noticed it, I was showing you video of it. There's a shorty antenna that I put on so you don't have the antenna that runs into things. Works great.
Now we're going to take a little look under the hood. This is my daily driver. It's not detailed under the hood, but I'm going to point out and tell you about a few things. This car, at the same time it got its new timing chain, which I've told you about the improper install, also got a water pump, which works perfectly, and a coolant flush. So they were done at the same time. However, I'm going to walk around and point out a couple things to you. You see the cover is not on here. It's not on here because the wiring harness has been misrouted when they did this. It should be on the other side of two hoses over here, so it's right up in this area where I'm putting my fingers. If that were true, you could put the top cover back on it. Right now, until you reroute the wire, which would be done at the same time somebody adjusts that timing chain, then you can put the cover on, but until then you can't put the cover on. You'll also notice up here there's a little bit of damage. This is because this particular clamp was improperly installed by the dealership. That's where the damage came from. They closed the hood and you got that. On this side of the engine, you'll find on the channel when I did the high pressure fuel pump. It's completely under the intake. That is a job I did. I showed you how to do it. Doesn't require as much time and bending over as doing the timing chain. But I did the high pressure fuel pump. That was done back about 110,000 miles. Turbocharger was replaced about 110,000 miles. The car has had brakes within the last 2 years, completely done all the way around. So you've got a number of new components in here that work beautifully. Basically, when things are taken apart, I normally will replace things so that you have new pieces there and things are in very good shape because of it. And the battery is newer than the car, from 323, as you can see. And for reference, there's the engine cover that goes with the car. Perfect condition, a little dusty, but ready to go back on when that wiring harness is rerouted. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to scan the car, put it in accessory position, press enter to read the codes. I'm going to hold it so hopefully you can see it. It's P0016 and P0017. And it does tell you what they are: crankshaft position, camshaft position, correlation bank 1, sensor B. The other one would say correlation bank 2, and it'd be sensor A. But they're going to tell you that the camshaft doesn't agree with the crankshaft. Exactly. That's the problem. And it sets that within 5 seconds of turning on the engine. So even if I erase this, so we'll enter, we'll scroll down, we're going to erase. We just erase the codes. It says erase done. Okay, we're going to plug the unit, start the car. Remember, I erased the codes. Here we are back at P0016. Scroll P0017. So it's going to set it all the time till the timing chain is in exact position relative to the crankshaft. But you've also seen the car totally drivable this way. And as long as you don't boost over 10, this car will continue to work. When you boost over 10, the computer will immediately detune it, prevents you from harming the engine, and drops your total boost to 5 until you scan the codes and erase them, which will set you back where you can go up to 10. You should be able to do 14. This is why I tell you they didn't set the timing chain exactly right. going to give you a few early evening features on the same car. Note the boost gauge is up, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Everything lights up on the radio. Outside driver's door, you'll notice everything lights up. Coming across, everything on the steering column is lit. Everything on the instrument panel is lit. We'll shut the door to shut off the dome. Dome light off. Every single thing lights up. Going to the passenger side, lights up over there also. Driver's side, back side operating, turn signal. Front side also operating. We have operational turn signal on the passenger side. Round back operating. Out front you can see we have operational headlights, running lights, side lights. I'll go to the other side and show them there too. Once again, everything's operating. Move around back. Operating on passenger side. License light. Driver's side.